Dr. Mabila Mathebula, good evening.
Hey, Mr. Stan, how are you? I don't know whether was it a coincidence, because I also, when you asked, between the two songs,
yeah,
my choice was Muna Otode from this side. But I would like to talk about arranged marriages. In some parts of Europe, it's still happening. And, an arranged marriage can be dysfunctional or functional. I don't know whether you know ABC Motsepe. ABC Motsepe was Patrice Motsepe's father. He used to be a principal at a school in Northwest. What he used to do is, if he saw that this boy was a good boy and this girl was a good girl, you would actually make it a point that they would actually have an affair, and some end up in marriage. For example, if you look at Lady Diana and Prince Charles, although that marriage didn't actually end up well and the like, but in Europe, that's what is actually happening. And then I think as parents, that's the opportunity that you are missing out. For example, you see this boy. For example, me, I'm a pastor, for example. You see this girl in the church. She's a nice girl. She's from a good home. And you have got the son, and you feel that, hey, man, this can actually make a good marriage. I still remember when I was a teacher.
Yes.
When I was a teacher, Kambule, I was a young teacher. Kambule used to say to us, teachers, we were young by then. And he said to us, teachers, these girls, they are beautiful girls and they're well groomed and the like. And then he said to us, please, don't propose love to them. Just actually wait for them until they pass matric. And then from there you can start dating them. And he said to us that because if you don't marry these girls, they'll end up being married by wolves who are going to kill them. And then when I see the question of gender-based violence, that's the problem, because we don't do the matching. We have got the responsibility to match. If you can see that this person has got the potential and they like, match. But that's not the topic today, Mr. Stan.
The topic today is understanding the grieving process, Dr. Mabila Mathebula. How did this come about?
Oh, the topic. Well, it came about because I came across a quotation from, it's a Hindu quotation, where they say, a wave grieves over its separation from the ocean. Yet when its grief subsides, it realizes that it is the ocean.
Very interesting. Now, is grieving part and parcel of our life as human beings?
Yes, indeed. Grieving is part and parcel of our lives, as human beings. Yeah, and in my view, when we are attached to something or someone, and you end up being separated from that thing or that person, grieving will kick in, whether you like it or not.
Now, let's talk about grief in itself. Can we be able to describe or define it?
Stan, always they say to define is to destroy, but to suggest is to create. But because you're asking me to define, I'll define, although I don't like defining. Grief is a great sorrow or feeling of suffering, especially at the death of a loved one or being separated from your loved ones. For example, if you are in love with someone and you break up, you are going to grieve.
Now, do we have such example in the Bible?
Yeah, the Bible has got a plethora of examples. Like, for example, arranged marriages. For example, Moses was in an arranged marriage. And then Jacob was in an arranged marriage. Now there are so many examples. And then now the example that you want is when Jacob was told that Joseph had died, he tore his clothes, put on sackcloth, and mourned for him for many days. And all his sons and daughters came to comfort him, but he refused to be comforted. He said no. And he said, the statement he said, I will continue to mourn him until I'll continue to mourn until I join my son in the grave. He was grieving.
Now, Dr. Mathebula, can you take us through the grieving process or the life cycle of grieving?
You know, I like the way you put it. When you say the life cycle, I would have thought about it. Yeah? But let me take you through the grieving process. Firstly, when you grieve, the first thing that happens is shock. That's the first reaction. For example, you were with your partner about an hour ago, and then the police come and tell you that your partner had been involved in a car accident and your partner died. Obviously, you're going to have some imbalance in you. There'll be some disequilibrium. You are going to be shocked. It's going to shock your body. You are going to experience that shock. Whether you like it or not, you're going to experience the shock. That's the first stage. And the second stage is denial.
Yes, Dr. Mathebula.
Yeah. In fact, the second stage, the mind now stubbornly refuses to accept reality. You feel as though this is a bad dream. Let me dismiss it. You think, this is a cruel joke. It has never happened. My partner is still alive. Death cannot actually attack him. Now it's denial, the second stage. And the third stage is anger. Now, once reality has settled in, anger takes priority over denial. The Bible says, blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted. But in the case of Jacob, as we have just read, he refused to be comforted. You become angry with yourself, you become angry with people, you become angry with the situation. It's anger. And say, but why did God do this? Why did it happen? Now you become so angry. Angry is an emotion. You become angry. You are going through emotions. All these are emotions. From there, blame. Here you look for someone to blame. You either blame yourself or blame other people. For example, you ask yourself questions. Why didn't I stop him from going to town? Why did I do this? Why didn't I do this and that and then? Maybe I could have actually stopped him from dying. Now you start blaming yourself. You start blaming other people. That's where there's a lot of superstition. You say, maybe someone has bewitched that person. You become superstitious, you become suspicious, and some people, go to an extent of going to consult the seers and say, but why did Stan die? Now, the question of blame, that's why you'd actually find that when people are mourning, or maybe there's a funeral in a family, people start fighting there. You understand? You are going there to the family to comfort the family, but people start fighting, swearing and the like. They are going through the blame process. Yeah, that's another process.
And then another one?
Another one is once actually reality has actually settled, you go through a reflective stage. Here you start to reflect about life and about your experiences. You ask yourself questions of meaning and value. For example, why am I here on earth? What's my purpose in life? Where's God when it hurts? A reflective stage is a stage of self-realization. And the perfect example that I often give was that of David. After I was told that his son had died, he said to them, I'm going to my son. He's not going to me. And then give me food so that I can actually eat. It's a stage of reflecting. It's like when you attend someone's funeral and they talk about this person and that, you start reflecting about your life. Are they going to say the same about me? Now, it's a question of reflection. Even in a relationship, once you have broken up with someone, you reach a stage of reflection. And say, but why did we break up? Maybe what actually happened. Maybe I didn't handle her well, or what? Now you start reflecting about life, about yourself, about so many things about life. That's the stage of reflection. And then eventually acceptance. You accept the status quo as you are reflecting that someone has died. You accept that you have broken up with that person. You now you accept reality, that this is reality, this is real. I need to move on with my life, and then I cannot be stuck here. This is reality. This is real. Now, that's the stage.
Okay. Now, Dr. Mathebula, there are a lot of people that are actually listening. They are saying, okay, it's fine. You have given us all that life cycle and different stages. Now, the question they're asking is, what role should they play to a grieving person?
They're asking a very difficult question, but I'll attempt to answer the question. Firstly, I think you need to become a shock absorber by doing the following. If I could answer their question, be silent and be available to support them emotionally. Here your presence is more important than the words of comfort. For example, in the case of Job had problems, and his friends went to him to comfort him for 7 days. They never said anything. They just actually looked at him. Now, silence speaks. Show them that you understand what they are going through. You need to be understanding. And also allow them to ventilate. If they are angry, they talk about this thing. Why did my husband die? What? Allow them to ventilate. And don't be judgmental. Don't judge them. And don't tell them about your experience. Like, welcome to the motherland world. You now feel how it feels to live without a mother. No, don't do that. Those are the advices that I can actually give people. Be a shock absorber. Be supportive to that person. Be part and parcel of that grieving process, and that person will eventually heal.
Now, Dr. Mabila Mathebula, we always in this show, give some kind of wisdom. That is actually from Mars to Venus. And I'm glad, Dr. Mabila Mathebula, I did not introduce you to Jininka. She is an artist. She's a reggae artist right here. She is the one that was actually singing that song. And I'm sure, because she is one of the Venus. So what advices do we have from Mars to Venus?
Yeah, I had also a background where she studied and everything, and also the mountains and valleys that she had to go through. The first is that when a man is in his cave, support him by cooking his favorite meal. Because at times, as we say, when a man is going through issues, he goes into the cave. Now you must be supportive. You must not actually say, "Come, let us talk," and they're like, "No, leave him there." But you have to cook him his favorite meal. And then offer to bath him so that the boy in him can be resurrected. And the motherhood in you can be enhanced.
So that I just want to repeat that, so that the boy in him can actually be resurrected and the motherhood in you can be enhanced. Very interesting. Your choice of words, Dr. Mathebula. To enhance is actually a very interesting word.
Yeah, well, choice of words, or maybe we can use one word, diction.
Your diction, Dr. Mabila Mathebula, is excellent. So, Jininka, when a man goes to a cave, is there any sign that you see?
Maybe I'm not understanding when he goes to the cave. What do they really mean?
No.
Let
me explain.
Problems.
Let me Dr. Mabila Mathebula, Jininka wants to understand what does it mean by going to a cave.
Yeah, Jininka, that's very important. Men and women are different, Jininka. When women have got problems, they want to talk about their problems.
Oh, okay.
And men on the other side of the coin, when they've got challenges, they don't actually talk about the challenges. In fact, they become withdrawn.
Okay. I hear you.
And then that stage of being withdrawn, we call it, the man is in a cave. He may not talk to you. Maybe he has got problems at work and the like. He just actually keeps quiet. It's a shutdown for him.
Okay, no, I understand.
Yeah. And then you realize, as a husband, as a wife or a girlfriend, you realize that this guy is on a shutdown. And then when he's in such a stage, you don't have to tamper with him. You need to allow him to go through the whole process until he's okay. That's why we are saying to you that when he's in that shutdown, you just cook his favorite meal.
Okay. I don't force him to talk.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.